What's up, guys? It's Russo. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. I'm having a great weekend, even though my picks did not do great last night. As far as the video picks went, I went 5 of 6 in one of my slips last night in the Discord. That was, a little bit of something, but only went 1 in 3 in last night's picks. Patrick Mahomes ended up crushing. I mean, I told you guys he was running the ball a lot more than people expected, picking up those first downs and whatnot. But Najee didn't play much. I thought we were maybe catching something mispriced there. Travis Kelce had an okay game if you started him in fantasy, but the volume wasn't there for the receptions. And then Noah Gray was just non-existent. And I thought, maybe with the history, they were going to go, targeting the tight ends a little bit more with Rashee Rice out, just like they did the last times they played. But it didn't work out. We're going to look for better reads today. This is what I'm going with. I like Brian Thomas Jr. over 73.5 receiving yards. I like a lot of his plays. I'm really high on BTJ this year. Trey McBride, if you guys remember last year, whenever he was playing on the road, we were just taking just about everything of his because he was going absolutely nuts. So I think the 8.5 targets is the best bargain playing in New Orleans to start the season. Zach Charbonnet, 6.5 fantasy score. I just think that that's a little too low with everything that they've been talking about, getting him more involved. And Clint Kubiak, like if he happens to get an end zone look, then he's going to crush 6.5 fantasy score. He's also a great pass catcher. We'll keep breaking all that down in a minute. And then my dice roll, which I feel good about it, but Tyreek Hill off the injury report now, 15.5 fantasy score. I think that he bounces back, and there's a lot riding on the Dolphins and the success they need to have right out of the gates this year, especially starting off against Indianapolis. You have an opportunity to start good, this season. So 13 games, there will be a lot more plays to be had. If you want access to everything that myself and our analysts in the Discord are putting out, you can come join our Discord. Just use code BACKDOOR at Patreon and you get 90% off right now. So it's like $1.30 or something like that for your first month. Tried to make it free. Patreon won't allow that big of a discount. So 90% was as high as I could make it. But yeah, come hang out with us for a month and see how you like it. And we'll be putting all sorts of slips together. I think I put out like 5 or 6 slips. Like I said, I had the one go for like 5 or 6. It was close, but making some demon slips and all that stuff. So yeah, come join us. Information is down below. And then here's this Underdog calendar. I told you guys I was going to show you all these promos that they're running currently and promos that will be coming later throughout the week. Just use code BACKDOOR at Underdog. Play your first $5 and they're going to give you $50 in bonus cash. So take advantage of that. And then last thing I'll shout out is Chalkboard. If you want just some free cash, just sign up, use code BACKDOOR, and they're going to give you $20 in credit just for signing up and using our code. So let's talk about Brian Thomas Jr. here. Let me switch my screen. All right. So BTJ, if you remember from last season, the dude had an incredible rookie season. I drafted him in Dynasty, so I was just loving it. So I've still got him. I'm excited for him to come out hot with Liam Cohen. There's 2 ways this could go down. He could absolutely ball. There's also a chance that he's getting so much attention now in his sophomore year that Cohen is using him a little bit more as a decoy, but I still don't think that keeps him from, eclipsing that 73.5 yards. I think, even Outlier, the default is at 79.5. We're getting it at 73.5 on Prizepicks, but even the 79.5, I feel good about it. He did, 5 straight games to end the season. He cashed that. If we look at the full 2024 season, 59% of the time, 10 out of 17 games, he hit that. And some of the question marks are when he was really balling out for those last games, that was with Mac Jones instead of Trevor Lawrence. But I trust Liam Cohen, and Cohen was really excited about Brian Thomas Jr. He said that the offense is going to be running through him. So I trust what Liam Cohen did last year with the Buccaneers. So I'm all about this. And one of the main things is we've got a 59% hit rate. If we look at the home games, 63% hit rate. So he cleared that 79.5 even. So if and even one of these was 76. So the 73.5 we're getting it at. Come on, I don't need an ad right now. The 73.5 that we're getting it at is even more solid. That makes it 6 out of his 8 home games. He eclipsed that. So if we look at his average yards per reception, 19.7. So if the volume's there, they have his receptions on Prizepicks set at what, like 5.5, I think. So if they think that's where the line's at and he's averaging 20 yards per reception, he should be good to go. If he's coming close to that, I mean, he could do this on like 3 or 4 receptions because he's just that type of speedy, big play, weapon. And Cohen already said, if he's seeing double teams, he's just going to move him to a different part of the offense. So he's going to find a way to get him open, get the ball in his hands. He's their big play guy. And yeah, so I'm excited about it. If we look at the longest receptions here with these home games, you've got like 56 yards against Houston. You have 58 against New England, 85 against Indiana. Also makes me excited about the situation that Tyreek's in going up against the Colts. And then against Cleveland, a 66 yard reception. So it's not uncommon for him to just take it to the house on 40, 50 plus yards. So I'm feeling good about it. Let's take a look at Daily Grind, see what they're thinking about this play, and there might be some other plays you prefer based on the optimizer. Okay, so it looks like it bumped up to 76.5. So the optimizer's not liking that probably because of the change, but it's still just a 51.4% odds to hit the under. There's no way I'm taking that under. I would never do that. I think this is low across the board, but some mixed emotions here. We've got some platforms that are projecting him to go over, some to go under. So definitely just mixed emotions across the way. But this longest reception at 25.5, the optimizer likes that to go over. So if we're looking for what is it bumped up to now, 76.5, if you did take that, 25.5 on just one reception, he doesn't have a whole lot. We have like about 50 yards to get the rest of the game. So totally up to you. The fantasy score, they have it just slightly favored to the under. I think he's getting a touchdown this week. He's playing against the Panthers. Let's look at this over under here. So we have a 46.5 over under. Jags favored by 3.5, playing at home. I have a really good feeling about him. I think he just opens up solid. And I think that, what Liam Cohen also did with Baker Mayfield, just giving Baker the best season of his career. I think that good things are in store for Trevor Lawrence too. So I think we're going to see a solid offensive attack here. All right, let's keep it rolling. So who we got here? Trey McBride. All right, so yeah, Trey, the 8.5 targets, we can start by looking at just the 2024 season. 56% of the time, he had 9 targets or more, and then things were really picking up here towards the end of the season. And then let's talk about the away games. Like we said, 75% of the time, he had 9 targets or more. 6 out of 8 games, and then one of those misses against Green Bay. He had 8 targets still, so one more would have cashed it, and he would be 7 of 8. So if we look at the matchup here, 27th. New Orleans is 27th in receiving targets allowed. So the Cardinals, we know, they tend to go pretty heavy on the passing. I believe that it was like over 50% of their plays last year were passing plays. Let's see if they break that down for us here. It doesn't look like they've got it up here, but I'm almost positive that's what it was. So I'm feeling like he can get it done. They just signed him to a fat contract for a little bit of time. He was the highest paid tight end in NFL history, I believe. And I mean, the connection's just there. I think that Trey McBride is, I think, their number one weapon, and we'll see how things shake out with Marvin Harrison Jr. This time around. But still, Marv, I was so high on him coming into the league. He's a big athletic specimen. The dude is amazing, but he's not the fastest wide receiver. And we just need to see more from him, more versatility. He's a big play guy for sure. I hope he pans out well because Cardinals are my favorite team, but Trey McBride, I'm absolutely confident. I think he ends the season for fantasy football as the tight end 1 above Brock Bowers, but that's just me. If we look at this over under, we have a 42.5 game total projected and Cardinals favored by 6.5. So Cardinals should be able to get it done according to Vegas. Not like the hugest discrepancy there, 6.5 points, but I feel good about the Cardinals going and taking care of business on the road to start the season off. Let's see real quick. We'll check out Trey on Daily Grind real fast. So they do like the receptions over 6. And you could take that. If he gets over 6 receptions, he's probably getting over 8.5 targets, though. That was kind of my thinking behind that. They like most everything. So 51.95% odds to hit the over on the 6 receptions. They like his fantasy score over 14. They like his receiving yards over 62.5. They like his longest reception over 20.5. And it's not pulling up the targets. So I'm sure if the targets were something that the optimizer actually located, which maybe they do sometimes, it might just be for this particular prop. I'll refresh it. Yeah, it just might not be picking up on it, but it likes everything else. So again, if he gets over 6 receptions, he's probably getting those 9 targets, because I believe he was catching the ball over 60% of the time. Let's take a look at that real quick. Receptions, targets. Yeah, he has a 75% catch rate. Averages 9.2 targets, and this is the full 2024 season. Let's take a look on the road. So show away games. 80%. So he averages 10.5 targets on the road. Yeah, that last game against LA, he had 16 targets. These last few games on the road were amazing. He went 12 of 12 against Minnesota on December 1st, and then 12 of 15. So, I mean, I like the receptions as well. The receptions is probably something that I'm going to look for an option for like a demon play. I would absolutely take like 6.5. They might give us a demon at 6.5, 7.5. I'd be comfortable. If I really wanted YOLO, I'd feel comfortable all the way up to 8.5 personally, but if you want to make a super crazy YOLO, you could just crank it up to as high as they'll let you go and just see, because yeah, the dude is going to catch just about everything thrown his way. And yeah, it should be a good time. So I'm going to be taking some chances on that for sure. All right. So Charbonnet. All right. So for the fantasy score, this is the last 10 games. Look at the whole 2024 season. So over that 6.5 fantasy score, he still averaged 59%. Obviously, you can see the games where he got to start. I believe it may have been the first 3 weeks he got to start. But the dude started to really prove that he's an RB1. He actually slimmed down a little bit this year. The old regime was kind of wanting him to bulk up a little bit and be sort of like a 1-2 punch with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. And he put on a little bit of extra weight, and he was muscular and he was good to go, but it just wasn't his comfortable weight, according to some of the stuff I was reading. And so he went back down to his comfortable weight, which isn't that much smaller. But he should be a little bit faster now. And Clint Kubiak has just been talking this dude up a lot. So we also, Kenneth Walker he'll probably play. He's not like on the injury report or anything, but he did, they did give him like 2 weeks off. Didn't say he was injured, but they were giving him rest days and stuff. So this team's really high on Charbonnet, and I think they're looking to run 2 running backs a little bit more this year. And there's also a chance that, we get within the 5 and they're like, hey, well, let's give Charb a look at it. So if he happens to get in the end zone, obviously we're going to crush this, but he's also a good pass catcher. And I believe that, he's the RB2, so they're not like projecting him to do a ton, not get more work than Kenneth Walker. But even as the RB2, I believe Prizepicks receptions for Charbonnet, it was a goblin at 0.5. So great pass catcher. He's pretty much just think James Conner. This dude is like the new James Conner. He should be a starter somewhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kenneth Walker ends up not in Seattle next year, maybe even like some point this season. Maybe they trade him away. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but I'm just saying they're probably going to keep Charbonnet instead of paying Kenneth Walker like, a fat salary. So I like Charbonnet to get at least 6.5 here if he's a good pass catcher, full PPR and Prizepicks. So let's take a look at Charb on Daily Grind real quick. they like most of his stuff too. So they like his receiving yards over 7.5, 53.23% odds hit the over minus 132. Longest rush over 10.5. They like that. Longest reception over 6.5. His receiving yards line is at 7.5. That is really good. If he catches like 1 or 2 passes, he's going to cash that. That's another thing that kind of speaks to, that's why I just went fantasy score overall at 6.5, because I just want a little bit of all of this. Like, they're setting his rush attempts line at 7. Like, that's, 6.5, 7. Some platforms have it at 7.5. Like, that tells you what they think the baseline is. So, I mean, I just think that he should be able to clear 6.5 fantasy score, but go with your gut. You don't have to take this if you don't want to. Let's wrap it up here. Tyreek Hill. All right. This isn't even going to be pretty to look at because the dude was so boom and bust last year. Yeah, he cleared. So this is his yards. Let's look at the fantasy score so I can talk you guys out of this play. I'm taking it. I'm taking a chance on it. I'll be honest with you guys, though. He cleared this 29% of the time last year. It was such a mess last year, though, when you have Tua, missing games. Like, first of all, even when Tua was playing, Mike McDaniel, I don't know what he was doing. Like, it just didn't look like the same offense. So what I'm banking on is you have a soft matchup here to start the season, Indiana. And it's projected to be relatively high scoring, 46.5 over under. Indianapolis actually favored by 1.5. So I think they're going to have to get Tyreek involved. This is the team to get big plays up on. So you've got like a little bit of a questionable situation with Devon Achane, or is it Achane? I don't remember. I think it's Achane. I forget what the correction was. But my point is, you also have is it Jonnu Smith, who is no longer there, and now Darren Waller, I think, is not playing week 1. So a bunch of vacated targets. You guys remember Jonnu just going off when their offense looked weird, but they're just feeding the tight end. So Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, I think they're going to need to be utilized in this game. And if you were ever going to take Tyreek this week 1, against Indianapolis, seems like the week to do it, playing on the road. Let's take a little bit closer look here. Let's see how this is going to be ugly, though. The stats from last year are not going to be good. So he had 2 games last year where he eclipsed this 15.5 fantasy score. Part of the reason that I'm taking a chance on this one, though, is I believe if you are on Prizepicks, the rushing receiving touchdowns, I think 0.5 is a goblin for Tyreek. I don't even think they're giving you like a regular full multiplier. Like, they've got that set as goblin. So if he gets a touchdown, we're on our way. We know that he can break off some big plays. So if you're uncomfortable with this, if it ends up being me just picking up another Travis Kelce type play from yesterday, feel free to fade it. You guys don't have to take any of these. But I'm taking a chance on Tyreek here. And yeah, and like I said, Mike McDaniel, he's in the hot seat. They need to get back to that electric offense that they had a couple years ago. Remember when they put like almost 70 points up against Denver? Like, they need to get back to just what was working, and that was when Tyreek and all of their main weapons were really balling out. So yeah, hopefully that turns out to be the case. Let's take a look at Daily Grind, see what they think. I'll have to put Tyreek in. By the way, if you guys want to check out Outlier, this statistics app that I love, you can try this one out for free. 7 days. Just sign up through the link below. They'll hook you up, give you a week just to see how you like it. All right, Tyreek. So they like him over 5.5 receptions, 51.58% odds hit the over, minus 123. They like longest reception over 23.5. They like his receiving yards over 69.5. They're not feeling the fantasy score. So maybe you guys want to pivot to one of these other plays. Go with your gut, as always. I'm taking the fantasy score. I think that 15.5, I mean, I just think that we need a bounce back here from Tyreek, and I want a little bit of everything. I think that he could eclipse that even if he doesn't necessarily get in the end zone, but they've got the touchdown as a goblin. So I'm just kind of like putting it all together, going fantasy score. But if there's another play you prefer, just throw that in instead and use whatever you want. But and if you guys want to check out the optimizer here, 25% off. Use code BACKDOOR at dgfantasy.com. And they'll let you lock in that 25% off for as long as you want to. I don't think I mentioned that in the last video, but it doesn't have to just be your first month. However long you make your first subscription, if you want it for the whole NFL season, 25% off, just lock it in for as long as you want. And your first purchase is what they give you 25% off of. So let's look at some bonus plays here. Let's see. So Justice Hill, this does look great. You guys might want to jump on this instead of any of the plays of mine that you don't like. 27.5 rushing and receiving yards for Justice Hill. We know that last year he was much more involved and played great. You had John Harbaugh talking about how when they first brought in Derrick Henry, he was saying, as far as I'm concerned, we have two RB1s, and we all know that Derrick Henry's the RB1 and Justice Hill is not Derrick Henry, but that's the kind of confidence that John Harbaugh has in Justice Hill. He is a great, a great pass catcher, and he's a little bit of a different dynamic, so he complements Henry well. But yeah, 27.5 is very low for his rushing and receiving. 55.32% odds to hit the over -147, and these other platforms, a lot of them have it up at 31.5. So 27.5 is solid. That'll probably be going in one of my lineups. Chris Rodriguez, they like this under 27.5. This one's a little dicey, just because we don't know. There's like Bill Krosky that everyone's all high on. You have Austin Eckler. So 27.5. I mean, Chris Rodriguez was listed as, I believe, the RB3. And they had Krosky as the RB4, but no one actually believes that. So I don't know what to make of this, because they're looking for someone to fill that Brian Robinson role, who wasn't the most elusive. I think it's just kind of like short yardage and goal line type stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to take a chance on that under, it is super juiced, 54.95% odds to hit the under. Drake May, I love this play. I almost put this in. If you guys want to sub out Tyreek for this Drake May over 5 rush attempts, it's super juiced, 54.86% odds to hit the over -141. New coaching staff, I think they're going to utilize his wheels a little bit more. And I think that the Patriots are going to look good this year. Let's see here. Not taking a chance on an under on Bijan, but there's that. If you want under 79.5 rushing yards, 54.48% odds to hit the under according to the optimizer. Jordan Mason, they love him over 9.5 rush attempts, 54.45% odds to hit the over -142. There's a lot of juice on the board right now. Russell Wilson, longest rush over 6, 54.39% odds to hit the over -145. Yeah, a lot of juice on that one. The 5.5 on these other platforms. Some are as high as -175. Let's see. Jaden Daniels, longest rush, 13.5. They like the over there, 54.12% odds to hit the over, -139. JJ McCarthy, longest rush. They like that over. Yeah, a lot of juice here. Okay, so this Alvin Kamara rush attempts over 14 has got a lot of juice on it. And Kellen Moore did say that Alvin Kamara is going to get just about all the work. So I know they've got, Kendre Miller. They talked him up a little bit as well. But yeah, I mean, 14, we'll see. But all I know is Kellen Moore has been talking him up a lot. So the optimizer likes him to go over 14, 54.08% odds to hit the over. We'll do a couple more and then we're going to get out of here. Chase McLaughlin, I mean, this is actually pretty juiced for a kicker. Over 7 kicking points, almost 54% odds to hit the over. We got some unders. Braylon Allen, over 6.5. I might gamble on that. Roll the dice a little bit, 53.66% odds to hit the over. It has been weird. The Breece Hall situation has been weird. They are playing the Steelers, so we'll have to see. But yeah, new coaching staff likes Braylon Allen, and they've kind of not been showing Breece much love. So partake of that and do what you want with it. But Daniel Jones over 205.5 passing yards, 53.49% odds hit the over, -133. If you guys got plays that you're excited about, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, and if I've got time, I'll look them up on these tools as well and try to get back to you. Last one, Jordan Love, passing plus rushing yards, over 245.5. A lot of juice on that, 53.39% odds hit the over, -135. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for me. I got a lot I've got to do tonight, but I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning into the show. Do me a favor, like the video. If you want, drop me a comment. It helps a lot, just getting back into the swing of things, and can't wait to get into some Sunday football. So I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. I'll catch you in the next one.